Hello, Jerry Garner, your neighbor realtor, back at you one more time. Listen, today I want to talk about how to properly price a house. Now, this is critically important whether you're a buyer or a seller. Obviously, if you're a seller, you want to price your house correctly. You want to get the most money for it, but you also want to get the most people to look at it. So we'll talk about it from the seller perspective. The buyer it's just as important to a buyer as well, because you may go look at a house and just because it's priced at 500,000, that's certainly no indication that that's what it's truly worth. That that's what market value is. Some agents strategically price them very low, expecting to get a lot of offers and work them higher. Some price them high with the expectation they may have to come down. So you as a buyer need to know what the market value of that property is. Now, let's talk a little bit about market value. Market value has nothing to do with what you paid for the house, has nothing to do with the money you put into the house, has nothing to do with sentimental value. The only thing that has to do with market value is similar houses nearby that sold recently, not listed for sale, because they can list them anything they want to, but what somebody who's actually willing to pay for them recently. In this market, you can probably look back, I will say, the last 6 months and be okay. The more recent, the better. You want to look for similar attributes. In other words, if we're looking at a 1,500 square foot house, I might search for all the houses sold between 14 and 1,600 square feet. And then I'd put them in order of price. And then I would look at the lowest price one and I'd say, gee, is the subject property better than this one? About the same or not as good? I'd go to the next one. Now, it's better than that one too. I'd go to the next one. Oh, gee, they're pretty close, pretty close. And at some point in time, I would find similar properties and I'd see what they sold for. Now, that won't give me an exact dollar, but here's the thing. Before I've even gone into the subject property, I can see that the house is maybe worth between, say, 480 and 500,000. If it's is in okay condition, maybe it's worth 480. And if it's very clean, nice granite countertops, it's got recessed lighting, it's got nice hardwood floors, it's probably worth five or a little more. But we know it's in a range of between 480 and $500,000. So we take a closer look and we determine a price. Now, if I wanted to sell the house for 510, I'd probably list it for 499.9, just so I get everybody searching for property between 450 and 500 to come and look. If they can afford 500, they can afford 510. That's a strategic pricing. But the point of the story is you determine value by similar homes that are nearby, that have sold recently, and all the other stuff really doesn't matter. Now, let's say if two homes are identical, one's got a pool and one does not. Now, in mid-price homes, say in the four, five, six, $700,000 range, a pool in good working order probably gives you about $15,000 in value. Costs a lot more than that, but remember, half the people don't want a pool. So if they're the same, one's got a pool, you probably add about $15,000 to its value. So whether you're a buyer or a seller, it's critical to know what true market value is. When you write an offer on a property, you don't want to offer more than it's worth, because then you're going to have an appraisal problem and you don't want to pay too much. And you don't want to offer less than it's worth, because in this market, there's more buyers than sellers and you're likely to get beat out by another agent. The best way to look at this is find out exactly what market value is. If it's between 480 and 500 and there's other offers and you really want that property, maybe you'd offer closer to 500. If you know there was no other offers, you'd probably offer closer to 480 because it's still in the range. So again, it's critical to understand market value. A lot of things come into play. Two houses might be similar and they might be across the street from one another, but one might be in one school district, another in another school district. So while you can get a good idea of the value, remember, you probably still need a realtor, because there's little things that can make a big difference. In this area, a school district could be $50,000 in value, and it could be a matter of being across the street. So I wanted to give you an idea about property value, because whether you're a buyer or seller, it's critically important. If you have questions, make sure you give me a call whether you're ready to buy or not. If you're not ready, that's fine. I'm happy to answer questions. I want to be the guy that helps. I want to be the go-to guy. So feel free to give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email. Gladly answer as best that I can. You have a great day, and we'll talk soon. I expect to be back tomorrow.